All right, good day, my friends. My name is Tracy Repchuk, and I'm the host of Reach Millions TV, an entrepreneurial lifestyle and learning channel where I will educate and introduce you to some of the greatest powerhouses in their field. Now, as an entrepreneur for over 37 years, I've had the good fortune to appear in Forbes over 27 times, speak in 39 countries, appear on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. I've won awards from the Senate, the Assembly, the White House, and President Obama. And I've written 9 #1 international bestsellers. And along that journey, I have reached millions with my message. So I wanted to show you specifically how to do that and introduce you to the people that can help you find more leads, make more sales, and reach millions with your message. Now, you can find out more about me at tracyrepchuk.com and reachmillionsacademy.com. Now, today I am joined by a true powerhouse, Lauren Powers, who is a 10-time heavyweight bodybuilding champion. Oh, international, a best-selling author, entrepreneur, actor, model, award-winning international speaker in cinema and media for the Women of Excellence Forum, and the founder of Powers Fitness Events. This woman is a true force of nature. Lauren, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tracy. Happy to be here. I love your beginning.
That's so awesome. Well, first, I am so massively impressed with what you have accomplished. I can't imagine the dedication, the effort that you had to do for that. So that's where I really want to begin. When did you start this? And was there something specific that happened that led you to get involved with bodybuilding?
Yes, absolutely. Well, most people don't know this, but I didn't start my bodybuilding career till the age of 40.
Wow.
Most people were like, what? They thought I've been doing this my whole life, but no, the answer is no. I did my first show at the age of 40. I won an overall title then, and I came back literally a decade later at the age of 50 and won the same overall title. And I did that, Tracy, to show that it's not just a one-time thing. It's a lifestyle. So I've changed my life to become, this faith and fitness queen. I call myself, and like, with you have all these accolades, the same thing. But yeah, back right before then, before getting into the bodybuilding, I was a firefighter, and that was a whole nother thing. There was a discrimination lawsuit and some crazy things. I really don't like to talk too much about it. The story is the heartfelt stories in my book about, just going through giving my whole life to something and then having it shut down. It's kind of how you handle things when things don't go your way. And that's part of my message as well, how to overcome, discrimination, judgment, being bullied, all those kind of things are actually in my #1 best-selling book as well. And just, it's the attitude and the mindset that we take when some of these things called life is the way I just call it, things just happen, but it's how we handle it and how we choose to come out of it. We can stay stuck or we become unstoppable. And clearly I chose unstoppable, and it just launched me into this fitness career. I got discovered at the Olympia and a big show in Las Vegas. I was on national TV, kind of like you, and started getting all these TV channels and live shows and exciting to, I'm considered one of the most publicized female bodybuilders in the world. I think you were going to ask me something about that because it's exciting. It's exciting. Mm-hmm. I've won a lot of shows. I actually became a promoter of my own event, as you mentioned in my bio, that I now own Powers Fitness Events. Because I didn't like the way that the athletes were treated. There's a lot of politics, kind of like beauty queens. There's a lot of politics in the sport. And instead of just complaining about it, I decided to do something about it and actually started my own show. And it's all about the athlete. I'm known as the athlete that is for the athlete, and the show that gives back. Because I know how hard it is to get on stage, and you're literally judged by the way you look on the outside. People don't know anything about you. So you're just standing up there, you're practically, in a little tiny bikini. And so it's hard. It takes a lot of work to get to that level. And so I like to honor the athletes and respect where they've been, because I've been there many times. And now, the promoter of the show, I get sponsors. I do everything I can for the competitors. But that moved me into women's empowerment events. I'll just be transparent with you, Tracy. It's a lot easier to get a woman on the stage to speak than it is to get them in a bikini to compete. So being a promoter of women's events, I'm sure you did the same. It was just a whole different ball game, and it just launched me into a whole nother, career. And I wrote the book, and I speak on stages. I've traveled to India. I've been all over as well. Not in 39 countries yet. I'm working on it, but it's just great to get your message out. So I love what you're doing with this platform here. I followed you in your footsteps actually with my own live show as well and it's also on podcasts, broadcasted on so many things. The Power Hour with your host, Lauren Powers, kind of appropriate, but I just love that. There's my message behind me actually: be strong, be fierce, and be you. And I go, boom, mic drop. So I just think that's so powerful to really encourage and empower women to be themselves and be the best version of themselves from the inside out. And so I've launched my whole coaching careers, all kinds of stuff, but blah, blah, blah. I could talk up forever.
Well, I love that you said you started at the age of 40 and, did it again at 50. That gives a lot of people who, maybe they don't want to be a bodybuilder, but they do want to have a better body, right? And so it gives a lot of hope that, especially, given that's a massively hormonal stage for most women, that it can be done, and that, there's light at the end of that tunnel, which is encouraging even for me. Something like myself.
Absolutely. Well, what I find, I'm glad you brought that up, because I understand 99% of my clients don't want to be bodybuilders, and I don't encourage that. I look this way, and my physique is on purpose. Let's just be clear with that. And I understand, because I train, I focus on females 40, 50 plus with the hormonal things. They want to reset their metabolism and they want to lose, 20, 30, 40. I have a gal that even lose up to 100 pounds. So I can do that. You know what I'm saying? This is my lane. It's my expertise. It's, the health and wellness, living a better lifestyle. All of those things go into my coaching programs, but it's not to become a bodybuilder. If you want that, clearly I can get you there.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it. However, again, I just trained one of our fellow women, and she wants to lose 40 pounds. So we're getting her in the training and the supplementation and the diets and making healthier choices and putting herself first. And that's the whole mindset, Tracy. It's just, you have to make a decision to make yourself a priority, really, and make your health a priority. So many women, I'm sure that you've met in your 39 years of doing this, that we're so busy building our businesses that we forget about what? Ourselves.
Always forget the self-care, right?
That's right. Self-care and self-love. And you hear these things, and you hear, put mindset first, and you hear these things from all these different coaches, but who's actually implementing and taking action on that? And it's not easy. And if it were easy, we'd all be walking around in beautiful bodies. But I get that. And so my whole message is to really choose you. My bigger message is, have faith and choose God first, and then you. And then everything in your life is impacted and levels up. You be better, and you're more, exciting and more confidence, and all these things that come with, speaking on stages like you, and being on TV and all these things. When you have more confidence, you do better, you impact more people. And it's always a win-win situation. Your family levels up. You're a happier person. Like everything, when you feel good. Let's just put it this way: if you don't feel like getting out of bed, nothing's going to get done, right? Right. So if you're not happy with yourself, you don't fit back in those business suits that you spent all this money on. I don't know. COVID hit, and most people have gained 20, 30, some 40 pounds during the time. Gyms were closed. I mean, I don't have to go through all of that, but we let our bodies go. And that's, the older we get, the harder it is to come back. So I'm just here to really, really help people switch that mindset, put themselves as a top priority, get it together, make healthier choices, become a better version of themselves. Here, I got my little prop here. Living life to the fullest, live the best life, and, rock on. And everything is, again, be strong, be fierce, and be you. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a bodybuilder, but to be toned and trimmed, maybe lose 20 pounds, fit back on those skinny jeans, whatever your why is, find it, and we go for it. I fill in that gap in between where you are now, where you want to be with the whole program. It's exciting to really see women transform their bodies. I focus on women that are, in 40s and 50s, 60 years old. I had a couple 70-year-olds, and they're rocking it. They couldn't even barely walk to the restroom, and now they're dancing, It's really exciting. I can tell I'm really happy to have people.
It's totally exciting. And it brings me to where we are right now. The Olympics are on. I'm watching these uber athletes. In your peak, when you were training for these, because I know all of a sudden you were like selected, I'll say almost randomly, right? That said, hey, you're going to be a bodybuilder. What did a day look like for you when you were, because people got to understand, man, to get what the accomplishments that you did would have taken an enormous effort and really commitment.
It does, and it's never too late. And let's just get that
Mhm.
straight out too. It's never too late. I'm taking beginners on right now that are literally transforming and having breakthroughs in their health, in their supplementation, with their diet, with their choices. And that's what's so important right now. Yes, being a bodybuilder on stage and with the muscles and all that, it's tremendous amount of work. But for me, I've always been an athlete. So,
Mhm.
I was a surfing instructor in Hawaii for years, built this upper body. I raced canoes in Hawaii. We're Hawaii state champions for 3 years in a row. So from the waist up, I had all these muscles at a very young age. Surfing and paddling every day, you get strong. And then the firefighting and all these things. I was a professional skateboarder. So my whole life has been around sports and water skiing, and I can just go on and on. So I had that muscle maturity and muscle memory and all of those things that go with it. So it wasn't as hard because I started so late in the game, but I had that muscle to begin with. But it's discipline. It's just watching what you eat, how often you eat, the macronutrients, how much you're training, how much you're recovering, what's going on with your hormones. Like there's just so much to it, and how you're training with the form. So I've always had coaches and trainers as well help me on my career and posing and all. There's just a lot that goes into it. So now I've been coached for so many years, and now I'm the coach because I took all the training and learning. And like you, I believe even whatever level you're at, you can always level up. And having a mentor or some sort of role model or some sort of coach to help you in that. I have all kinds of business coaches right now and entrepreneur like you, like we could always so much more. There's always more, but you have to be hungry for that. Like Les Brown says, oh, for Pete's sake. And there's a client now.
Now, okay, so let's go to you are the most publicized female fitness competitor in the world, and you've been featured in numerous feature films, documentaries, television productions, more than a dozen popular music videos. I think we did the Lady Gaga name drop. I want to hear about that. And again, with some of the top artists in the world, take us on that journey and tell us a little bit and drop some names.
Drop some names, right? This is celebrity time. Well, it just kind of happens. But it's doing the work, and it's just being out there and being willing to go into auditions and handle, you don't always get everything you audition for. And so it's almost like being in sales. There's people that are going to say no, but you don't let that bother you. You just keep going. And I've had this very inner drive since a young girl to just not let things affect me and tear me down. Because if I did, I would be washed up years ago, especially in the fitness industry. It's very competitive. It's pretty hardcore. And and I'm at an age too, which I can't believe I'm still getting jobs in bikinis. Tracy, it's just crazy. I mean, I'm trying to find the picture of Lady Gaga because that was pretty fun. That was my major epic one. And there we are.
Oh, beautiful. How fun.
Yeah, it was really fun just to be on set with her and hang out with her all day. I got to spend a lot of time with her and redoing scenes. And if you see the video, there's a couple scenes with just her and I, and she dresses me, and just to be around such a powerhouse like her. And and that was her telephone video, which was quite a few years ago. Now she's completely changed her style. Very gifted, very talented. And she didn't what I like about Lady Gaga, she didn't let the public tear her down. All that publicity, she's crazy. And just remember, she came in the meat suit and just really a bizarre thing, but she didn't care. And we actually had some words and inspired me, and I'll share that with you, is that she said, as many people, the naysayers that like are the haters, if you will, there's that many people that are going to love you and be your fans, and it's called balance. And that really set in with me. So if you're out there in the public eye, and I know you are, and myself, I put myself out there a lot, you have to be willing to take the other side of it, the naysayers and the judgment and all that. People judge me all the time walking around, like, look, because of the way I look, but you can see I'm very proud of it. I'm on your show in my sports bra. I don't care because I've worked hard for this body, but my purpose is to show that I know what I'm doing as far as health and wellness. So other women can look at me, not necessarily want the muscles. I mean, most of my clients are like, Lauren, I never want to look like you. You're so muscular. I'm like, sweetheart, don't worry, your pretty little head. It's not going to happen. This is
right. That's right. This didn't come from a couple 5-pound weights.
I didn't look at some dumbbells and gain, the muscles. It doesn't happen that way. There's no magic. Right. Sorry, no magic pill. It does take a lot of work. It's been a lot of years. Again, as I explained, I've been an athlete for years, my whole life. However, that was exciting. So from the Lady Gaga thing, gosh, I've been on iHeart Music Awards with Iggy Azalea and Jennifer Hudson, opening up on national TV. It was a major with Jamie Foxx as the host and Nick Jonas. We walked him down the stage, and just to be there with all the fans and excitement is it's almost like being a rock star yourself, because everyone's right there on the stage. That led to I actually manifested working with Jennifer Lopez. That was epic. So you guys, if you don't believe in manifestation, trust me, it does work. When you set your intentions and you say to the universe what you want and be very specific about it. I was literally watching World of Dance because I love to dance. And
I love that. That was a great show.
Isn't that great? She's, the head judge with Derek, and
I
just came down. I'll never forget. I walked out of my living room and it was on. Some friends were there, and I'm like, oh, I want to work with Jennifer Lopez. I've, had the opportunity to work with Gaga and all these other great female artists. I want to work with Jennifer Lopez. I'm not kidding, Tracy. Where's my phone? My cell phone went off. I got a text message said, "Are you available for a music video?" It wasn't from an agent. It wasn't from a casting director. It wasn't from anything. I've done this many times now. You have to normally go through an audition. You have to do a callback. You have to go to a fitting. You have to go on a bail. They have to go through your agency. It's like this whole process. Nothing, just a random text message. I'm like, sure. Just didn't think anything of it. Well, fast forward, that weekend I took in faith, drove my car up to LA, pull in at 7 a.m. The big, security guard comes over to, Escalade with my name all over it. It's pretty obvious. He's like, "Good morning, ma'am. Are you here for the Jennifer Lopez music video?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." It was so epic. It was just awesome. And then another thing, I was trying to manifest Pink. I want to work with the singer Pink, right? Pink. I'm sitting there on another big set. You have to sign NDAs, and with these big name celebrities, it's always hush hush. You can't have your phone. It's just you have to sign the contract you want to share, blah blah blah. So we didn't even know who the artist was. I'm sitting there on rehearsals, and I keep seeing the director looking at me. And there's 100 people there, all dressed, hair, makeup, wardrobe. We're all fancy. It's this crazy thing in the Biltmore in downtown LA, big fancy old school Hollywood. And the assistant kept moving me on the set, and everybody's just waiting right up the last one to be placed. And I ended up getting placed right next to the stand-in. So you don't know who the artist is. The playback comes, and we're sitting there, we're in rehearsal, and then here he comes, pink hair, pink sweatshirt, pink pants, solid pink. And all I could think of, he's sitting next to me, it was Justin Bieber, which was fabulous, right? I love him. Yeah. It was so funny. I'm like, I need to be more specific. I was thinking Pink the singer, right? But he showed up all in pink. But just the opportunities I've had, yes. I believe in having that mindset. Professional on set to work with, and just all these things that go into being casted. My name's been tossed around Hollywood now for years. And so anything comes up that with somebody that is in physical shape, I tend to get it, which is great. And documentaries on my life. I've had True Hollywood in my home for 9 hours with cameras everywhere. I've been on long week films, and it's fun. I love it. It's a lot of work. I will say Hollywood's not the most glamorous thing. It's a lot of hurry up to wait. Yes. I remember with my son, same thing. Yeah. It's like, here, I just got off another giant production. Again, got casted for my physique, really. The same director that was on the Yummy video with Justin Bieber was the director on this huge Casey Musgraves, who is an award-winning Grammy star in country. I didn't even know who she was, to be honest with you, but she's darling. And I got to work with her for a week. And so she's got a 45-minute documentary coming out. We just wrapped up last week. And so that was just thrilling. It's just fun to just keep going, especially at my age, and not giving up. And I just think staying persistent, consistent with a great mindset, and still looking great, that helps. Being healthy, of course, which and you mentioned the mindset through this time, and it was interesting because I was reading through a lot of your stuff, and I could pick out these two kind of core brand elements, which you speak to, and that was faith and fitness. And in fact, you're known as the faith and fitness queen. So tell us about how your faith and, kind of shaped where you are now. Oh my goodness. I changed just recently because I started going to a new church called Oceans, and it's only 2 years old. I was invited by a friend of mine, and the minute I went there, I felt home. I mean, I'm going to cry just thinking about it because I was so filled with the Holy Spirit. It just changed my life. I just got baptized last Sunday. In fact, some of the footage will be on my social media coming up in the ocean. So it was so epic. The main pastors came there, they prayed over me, and they just said my whole life's going to open up and change. I changed the name of my company to Faith and Fitness just by being at that church. Because one of the gals, she's like, Lauren, you should do something for the ladies here. You know, everybody loves you. And, you know, on fitness. I'm like, yeah, fitness. And, yeah, and we're all faith filled. I'm like, faith and fitness. And it just came out of my mouth organically. And we hugged. And then the pastor walked by and I'm like, Mark, what do you think about changing my company to Faith and Fitness? And he gave me the big hug. So I felt anointed. And then I'm like, I'm going to make God my CEO. How can I go wrong? And it's just, and then the Be Strong, Be Fierce, Be You came about, Faith and Fitness Queen. All the marketing just happened. And this is very recent. It's only been a couple months. Wow. I've trained some, some high ticket packages from women at my church. Now I'm transforming their bodies from the inside out. And just, I don't know, I think because I always said, make yourself, choose you. And I changed. I said, God first, and then you, in that priority. And everything changes. It has for me. And it's, it's not for everybody, but I believe I'm attracting the people that are in my tribe that have the faith, and the women that I'm meeting that are so godly women. It's just amazing. It's just being baptized was so epic. And it's that whole thing. I'm just living gratitude and pray every day. And the women I'm attracting are all faith first. And it seems to be really catchy. As soon as I did that, not one person, Tracy, gave me, pushback. Yeah. Everyone, oh, I love that. I love that. Even like you just said, we just met and you're like, oh, I love the faith and fitness. It just works. Yeah. And it makes sense. And when you have God in your life, things just level up. It's just, I'm so thrilled about it, to be honest with you. It's changing everything.
Well, I love it because, we're spiritual beings first, right? And we're in the body, and you're optimizing your time in your body. And you got your book there. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Yes, I wrote this. God, it took me forever. You've written 9. I'm very congratulations. I got 1, and that was huge for me. But it did go number 1 in 11 countries. Nice. I'm very proud of that. Thank you. In 98 categories, which I didn't even know there were 98 categories, but apparently there is. Number 1 in all of those. It's exciting. It's not just about me going blah, 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 about my journey. It's how I can impact through my, tragedies into triumphs. And how I've overcome judgment and bullying and discrimination and all those things like I opened the show up with. And then each chapter has a workbook. So it's free. The workbook's free and it has questions based on what you just read. And there's just random chapters like value relationships. I'm just flipping. Practice self-care, one of my favorites, right? That's towards the end. Practice self-care, self-love, harmony. Don't judge a book by its cover. These are just some of the chapters. Inspiring forces, things that have inspired me. Find strength in adversity. And I speak about daring to be different and just being you and trying to be someone else, which so many people do. I mean, I live in Orange County, California. It's very superficial here, kind of competitive. Women look you up and down and check your bag and all this. I'm just not into that whole scene. It's I'm just proud of who I am. It's too hard to be somebody else. Right? Yeah, it's hard to be yourself, right? So I'm just be, celebrate who you are. You can always become better. This is, again, things that I help, and from the inside out, through and get more energy, more confidence, all those things that I work on with people. But I tell how I did it through my book. It's called Beneath the Muscle. Yeah. I'm your inner champion. So I believe we're all champions, right, Tracy? We're all champions. We just maybe don't know it. We haven't stepped into it. We haven't, figured things out. We're stuck here. We hang on to our past. And there's so many things that, from coaching so many years, I'm sure you understand all.
And I love this. I love your story. And again, it being in a book. And again, I think books are still such an important element because it allows us to just take that moment and absorb messages. And again, you're reaching millions with your message, of which has many layers, everything from starting at the faith-based right down to self-care, right? We have all of these interwoven messages that are so important. And we talked about authenticity there. And that to me is another element of necessity because we're all put here for a purpose, right? We have a vision, a purpose. We are sent here to do something. If you're not authentic to who you are, you'll never accomplish, what you were set here to do, right?
Absolutely. It makes perfect sense. But I mean, so many people are trying to be, our social media impacts so many of our younger,
Yeah.
men and women actually. They're trying to be someone that they're not, they're trying to be the Kardashians or some, you know what I mean? It's like, no, be you. That's my statement. Be
That's
you.
right.
And then be fierce. Yeah, be a best version of you. And quit trying to be someone else. And then find your own message, like you said, and then use that. I've got a lot of women that have had a lot of diversity and a lot of tragedy in their younger years, but I'm like, that's your message.
Yeah.
You use that. Now you're here to impact other women because you've went through it and you came out and look at you, you're doing amazing. So use that. Don't hide that from the world. Like, it's not easy. This stuff is not easy.
Yeah. Being vulnerable, telling what I was in an interview just yesterday, and one of the questions was, talk about the obstacles you experience as an entrepreneur, right? Because yes, we all appear very successful today, but we all know that, the journey was riddled with issues, right? And so as I'm weaving and telling them kind of I'll say my top three, right? So many people, it makes you way more relatable because so many people have gone through something similar, right? In some way, shape, or form. You went through, whether it be bullying, you went through discrimination to a very large degree. I mean, even somebody like myself who started a software company at the age of 19, and I'm pitching to groups of 12 men who are 50 and above, and I'm 19 years old, and I'm going against Ward Millett, and I'm going against IBM. I mean, all of that. It's very hard to penetrate a field when you're a female in a very male dominated industry, of which I've been in 4 male dominated industries, including internet marketing and digital marketing, right? When I emerged in 1992 to and started to work that, it was all men. And when I started on the stages, 15 men and myself. It was 16 men, with 16 of us traveled around the world with the World Internet Summit, right? And so that's again why I've become, like yourself, such a champion to women. And not just because we've had to fight harder for what it is that we want, but we do so much. We juggle so much. We carry the weight of so many. We are the empathic kind of ones that are going to, I believe, not just, shape the next direction of where we're going as a planet and as humans, but more importantly, how are we, treating the earth? How are we treating each other? So many interesting things have, again, come out through COVID, right? Whether the various Me Too's, the documentaries that are revealing some of the issues that women in particular have been encountering. There's always these silver linings we have to look for, because it gave, I think, a reboot, right? We're going through this bit of a reboot, which says, okay, women, this is it. Every girl and every woman needs to pull up their big girl panties right now. And we need to get strong. We need to go out there. We need to change the world. And we're the ones that can emerge at the forefront. Because if we do not right now, in particular, we are going to be dominated, whether it be by governmental forces, whether it be by, all of these outside things that, unless we all push back and help to reshape the values of society, I believe that, we could end up in a not a great place. And it's people like yourself and that are, one topic, that's all everybody needs to take on is a topic, right? And between us all combining our voices, my goodness, try and stop us then, right?
Yes. Oh, yes, I love it.
Yes.
We're here to power each other. I just love that. My whole message too is I have a whole campaign where I lift, other powerful women up, like literally physically carry them. And then the hashtag is lift women up, not beat or tear them down.
Oh my goodness. And weren't we trained though to do that, right? As somebody who's come through as an entrepreneur for this long, I have seen so many women, right, believe there's only one spot on the corporate ladder or on at the top, right? We were taught, not the abundance, which is the world. We were taught the scarcity, and then even worse, we accepted that as the message, and we operated on that. And I believe with so many beautiful women's groups and women empowerment messages now, and the kind of binding, of women in various ways, I believe that's where we're all going to start to lift as we climb, which was the piece that was missing, because once we all continue to do this, that's where all of the powerful people are going to rapidly get to the top instead of one person attempting to hold the place.
Oh, right. There's room for everyone. And I've always lived in abundance. I don't know any different, but I feel that's the rare. Right? I love that you said there's people think there's only room for one. No, there's room for all of us. And we're supposed to collaborate and, lift each other up, like you said, instead of compete and compare. I say that all the time. Collaborate, ladies. Like we're collaborating together. I want you on my show. I'm on your show. Like, we share the message. We're in the same industry, but different with different messages. We all have our unique story and our unique message. And, we heard a lot of speakers say that your mess becomes your message. And, it's just so common. So when people they stuck, it's so sad. I'm like, no. And that's what you were meant to have this. I know when you're in things like that, it seems like the end of the world, but it's not. We always come out on the other side. And I think when we help other women, it helps you as well, because then you see breakthroughs for them and you're like, because you know what it's like. So I've experienced so many things, I talk in my, I've been heavier, I've been skinnier, I've been bigger, I've been smaller, I've been in all body types through my life. And so when someone comes to me in that particular type, I can relate because I've done that, but I've always changed, made a decision, made a change, took action, and changed my body for whatever career or whatever I was doing. And now this is just how I feel fierce. It's not for everybody, and I get that, but for me, it's empowering to me. And I like to stand out. I like to be different. I feel, I dare to be different, because why fit in when you're born to stand out, right?
Exactly.
I walk in the room, people know I'm there, and that's my way, because I want your attention, because then come and ask me and I can help you. I've got a lot of tips and tricks. I've been through a lot of things over my years. I didn't start till 40. I've been doing it at 50. I'm going to be 60 this year. Let's just be clear. And I've never felt better. So there's a lot of things. It's never too late, ladies. If you're listening to this, you've got to take pride in your health. And, let's get you off some of those drugs and get you moving and feel better and get on more stages or write books or whatever it is that your goal is. Back at those business suits. I have a gal that she has a whole closet full of beautiful suits. She can't fit into any of them. She's trapped in her own body and literally in her own house. She won't even leave the house. I'm like, oh my gosh, and she's in real estate. I'm like, how are you going to sell a house if you can't go out? And it's this whole spiral downhill because of the COVID and the gyms closed and just blah, 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 getting depressed and anxious. And we don't know what's going on in the world, and stress causes cortisol, which causes belly fat. And one thing leads to another. And pretty soon, instead of giving up, there is hope. And that's the thing. And wherever you are, you know what I mean? Just please take priority in yourself, that you are worth it. You are enough. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to be healthy. You deserve this, and do it for you and your family and your business. All of that levels up, as I said.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I have my little sign here. You got to be grateful. This is my favorite word, grateful. And the more gratitude you have, the better things are. And just be, like you said, Tracy, be transparent and be authentic and be you, because people we're going to love you. And if they don't, they're not your people. It's just that simple.
Agreed. Well, thank you, Lauren, for being on Reach Millions TV, for sharing your amazing story, your insights with our followers. What is the best way for viewers to connect with you and continue the conversation?
Absolutely. Super simple. Just go to laurenpowers.com. Right on the main page, there's a way to connect with me on a call if you want to talk about your wellness and your health and leveling up. all the videos and all that fun stuff that, the celebrity stuff, that's all on there. All the icons for social media are all there. I'm super easy to find, just laurenpowers.com. It's all there. The book's there. Your readers can download a free version. I'd love to share that with them just for being on your show. And
Awesome.
we've got free gifts, like to be generous.
Well, that is perfect. Everybody be sure to connect with Lauren Powers, and to help you reach millions, be sure to grab my free gifts and best resources at jointracy.com. So stay tuned to this channel and more exciting episodes of Reach Millions TV here on the Live in the Hive broadcast network. And until next time, I'm Tracy Repchuk, and here's to your continued success.
Boom.